Friday to everyone in the sports universe. This is the AM Drive. I'm your host, Michael Carbellis, and alongside me, as always, Aaron Crouch. Aaron, how has your sports week been?
So far, it's been a little up and down, I will say. It's quite unfortunate that Vegas wasn't able to close it out in Game 5. But I think we saw one of the most electric games in the postseason in that Panthers-Carolina game, Game 4. If you didn't see it, if you can watch a replay, absolutely incredible. Playoff game winner with 4 seconds left. It's pretty awesome to see. But we'll have to wait at least another 2 days to see who Florida's opponent is. So we'll see what happens Saturday at Game 5 in Vegas here.
Are you going to that game?
I have tickets to the game, obviously. I'm trying to sell them. I believe Vegas is obviously going to win this series. I really want to save up money for cup tickets, and they're not cheap. So if I can get, I was hoping they'd clear it in 4 so I could get a refund, because you have to buy all 4 tickets up front for the series. So I was hoping they'd clinch it in Game 4 so I could get the refund for the tickets and put all that money towards cup tickets. But nope, they couldn't do it for me.
Oh.
So I'm trying to sell. I have an interested buyer currently. If not, then yes, I will be there.
What is his name? Okay, don't do that.
His name is Samuel Action.
I wonder who that could be. Go to MikeandAaronDrive.com to get awesome stuff like he just drunk out of, and also the hoodie that he's wearing. You can also check out the Daily Dive link tree as well, just because. I'm trying. No, go to MikeandAaronDrive.com and click on all of our stuff, including meats, which we'll explain later on in the show. Let's get into the NBA playoffs. I'm not happy. I'm not happy right now.
You getting nervous?
Oh, is it hot here, or is it just me? It's the
tough.
Heat,
Well, you need to turn it up because they've put on the air conditioner the last 2 games.
That guy Barry MCC whatever. He said on Twitter, like 30 minutes before Bleacher Report did this, he said, "I'm waiting for them to post a picture of Jimmy Butler smiling, saying he's all cool for Game 6 or whatever." And 30 minutes later, Bleacher Report did it. I hate this team, man. It's like, oh, they're fine. Like, dude, we've said that for 2 games now.
It's one of those things that this isn't your typical team that's down 3-0. This is the number 2 seed. You get the 1 to avoid the sweep. Obviously, it's like, okay, cool. We can breathe a little bit. We didn't get swept. But then you look at it, it's 3-1, but you have 2 of the next 3 at home in the Garden. So obviously they get Game 5. Now it's 3-2. So I know as an 8 seed, it's all sunshine and roses. And how do they do that? But now if you're talking about actually getting to the finals, the pressure is all on Miami right now.
Well, of course it is, naturally, because you're up 3 to anything if the pressure's on you. I will say this, though, regarding that series, I'm not concerned. I'm not really scared. I'm more of like, are we playing with our food right now? And I'm not saying we wouldn't have liked to have swept them, but in the second half you fall apart. I guess in Game 5 it's also in your head that you did so. But something it feels like we've played way better through the entire playoffs than Boston has at all this playoffs. And the fact that we played with our food for 1.5 games so far puts us in this situation. And I want Tyler Hero to come back too, and I want Gabe Vincent to come back.
Well, yeah, of course you want your guys to come back. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory here. But what the situation is happening is, what I believe is that the 3-point shooting from the Heat has gone ice cold, and it is literally flipped over to the Celtics at this point. So I think the Celtics are in that camp of, okay, the 2 seed, 8 seed thing is out the window. We're the dog here at this point, even though they're still favored by heavy points.
So stupid.
we're the house money dog here. We're not supposed to win this series. This series is supposed to be over at some point. But what do you do if you're Miami? I mean, this is where Spoelstra is the best coach, in the NBA, arguably. So what do you do if you're Spoelstra to make sure that you don't have to go back to Boston at this point?
Fundamentals. And I'm going to tell you why. The reason I say fundamentals is that you bring up the three-point shooting. To me, if we don't have 15-plus turnovers in Game 5, we win that game. Does this sound weird saying we lost by 20 and we were within striking distance down 15? Like they kept us at arm's length down 15? Because forget three-point shooting, the costly turnovers to me, what Eric Spoelstra was supposed to be known for, regardless of what happened all season, because we had a bunch of injuries as always and load management. But it feels like if we get clean possessions, even if they miss a shot, you feel a lot better than, oh crap, there goes Marcus Smart for a dunk, there goes Jason Tatum for a dunk. It feels a lot better if you just miss a shot. And you can't miss your shots and have backbreaking turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, what do you make of this for the Nuggets at this point? Because no matter what happens in this series, the finals starts Thursday.
Yeah.
So is this, I mean, obviously this on paper is better for the Nuggets the longer this goes, but does it really matter if, Saturday comes and, we have, still 5 days of rest? Does it really matter if Miami closes us out in Game 5 or in Game 6, or if either team closes out in Game 7? Does any of that matter for the Nuggets at this point?
I would say if I'm Denver, I would hope that it's not Boston at this point, because then it's like they turn right around and they all of a sudden got hot from three and now they can't miss. They go right into your place and shoot you out the building. So if I'm Denver, I'm enjoying my rest, but I don't know. I have a question for you. Are the Nuggets to you by far the favorites right now because of what's going on in the Eastern Conference Finals?
It's funny. I was literally just about to ask you that question. They're going to be the favorite. Well, you know what? I don't know, because I think Boston's the best team when they're on. I think Boston's the best team.
Agreed. Because Malcolm Brogdon left Game 5 early.
If Boston comes all the way back and wins this series, creates, makes history, blah, 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 I got to think they're the favorites in this series. I mean, look how big of a favorite they are down 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. I mean, they're still 7, 8, 9-point favorites against this team. It's absolutely insane. I think the only game they weren't favored was, correct me if I'm wrong, Game 4. I think they were a 1-point dog or something like that, but it wasn't much. I gotta think. I don't know. I mean, Denver gets the home court, so that has to matter. Denver hasn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. They haven't lost at home, right? I don't think they've lost at home in the playoffs.
I think either they've lost one, which is still impressive.
Yeah. So the simple fact here is, I'd like to change my answer, Bob, and say I think Denver will probably be favored no matter what. Now, are they the fan favorites, or are they the betting square favorites? Like, people are going to love Boston from coming back from this, because it's the same as like the Red Sox did in 2004 when they came back from 3-0. They immediately swept their next opponent. So it was like you said, they played the hot streak of 8 straight, and sometimes you do that. You get on an 8 straight run, and that can win you a championship. So it's an interesting spot. That's a great question. I think from the books perspective, Denver will be a slight favorite in the series.
If I am the Denver Nuggets, I want to play Boston. And that sounds really stupid. I'm going to tell you why, though. Denver does something very well. They don't turn the ball over, it seems like.
Right.
Nikola Jokic is very good about nitpicking defenses. Jamal Murray doesn't turn the ball over. He dribbles a lot, but he doesn't turn the ball over, it seems like. If I am Denver, and I know what happened to Boston last year in the finals, I also know what happened to Boston the first 2.5 games of this series, or 3.5 games of the series. Boston's very turnover prone. I like my chances against a team, but if the Heat all of a sudden get fundamentally correct and win the series, matchup-wise, I don't think Denver likes that too much. I mean, I think that Denver, I want to see wins it either way. I don't want to go that far. But if I'm Denver, I'm like, dude, that Miami team, they're mean and they're nasty and they're tough. They're not just going to give a game away.
Right.
Boston will. Like Tatum has shown even in this playoffs and last playoffs, he gives the game away. I don't see how he does that, but he does.
Well, I mean, in every team and every player, and in this league, we've talked about. I mean, we've said this many times. Every star in this league has flaws. It seems like his and the Boston is just, not being able to hold the ball. They play good defense. They have timely scoring a majority of the time. And
Al Horford and Grant Williams, yes.
Yeah, there's a reason they're in this spot now. Speaking of Williams, now, do you believe that whole 3-point disaster in the beginning of the series? Do you really think that changed everything, or do you think Miami was just good enough without the need for an extra motivation at that point?
I think Miami's good enough. I think they try to create this motivational tactic, but I think there's only so much of that you can do. But people talk about, well, Michael Jordan found a way to be. I don't know how much Michael Jordan needed that. Like, yeah, and for his own psyche, sure. But it's like I feel like if you can be that good and you're such a hard worker, it's going to come naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Jimmy Butler and all those guys need motivation. They're a bunch of undrafted weirdos. Like, come on.
It's fair. It's just kind of weird how he did that, because you're right. You're screaming in the face of a superstar, especially one who might or might not be Michael Jordan's kid. You're giving them more motivation. I have to say, take off your Miami Heat hat right now, and I'll finish it with this. Like, do you think this happens? History happens? Do you think that they come all the way back, or do you think Miami finally finds a way to close the door?
Realistically speaking, no. Like, this reminds me of remember the Corgi was like picking every Warriors and Lakers game correctly,
mm-hmm.
and like it got in people's heads. Oh boy, it could happen. And Lakers beat them to smithereens in the last game, and then they tried to do this thing with the Lakers and the Nuggets from 3-0. I felt like the Celtics series has been a lot worse for the Boston Celtics. Like, it's not as simple as hitting threes. They look dysfunctional at times. They look like they have a first year. Well, not even fair to be a first year coach in Joe Mazzulla. Like, if I'm Boston, I'm still like, man, we gotta pray to Miami keep shooting the ball back. Because if Miami still has turnovers and they start shooting well again, oh good Lord, pray for Boston, man.
Yeah, I mean, you have to take the coach almost. You almost have to take the coach out of it in this spot if you're Boston. You just almost have to say, we're going to play better than them. We're going to get out to big leads to where the coach doesn't actually have to come up with coaching type things like strategy and plays. So I don't know. I mean, I think if Miami doesn't get it done Saturday, I think history happens.
I think Miami gets either one. I'll take a shaving cream high on the face. I'm confident. 6, I don't care if it's 6 or 7. I don't see a scenario where Miami lets this happen. Because remember last year, you remember that whole conspiracy theory with Jimmy Butler, like taking that last 3-pointer, and there was like some talk about whether he was pissed off at Udonis Haslem or whatever.
I don't remember that, but
he took that 3-point shot and like clanked it, and he could have gone to the rim for a layup.
Weren't you supposed to take a shaving cream pie to the face for something this week?
I'm glad you mentioned that. Not really. I actually remember that as the show was just like 5 minutes in. I'm like, crap, they got swept.
Yeah, I think you were supposed to take a shaving cream pie for that one too. So.
For game 3, no less. Yeah.
Well, you can save that till Monday. We'll save that till Monday.
All right. Okay, so let's move on here. Speaking of the Lakers, LeBron's future is up in the air, or is it? Some may view this as a negotiating tactic. I talked to someone on the phone last night who believes LeBron's foot is a major issue because Shams is reporting he does need surgery. And if LeBron in the post-game said, he's going to contemplate his future. Naturally, after you score 40 points and it's still not good enough at 38 years old, I would say, yeah, well, I get that. But if he does retire, thanks for everything, GOAT, and there's nothing else you can prove. Which is why I don't know if playing for Golden State is a thing. I believe LeBron can still live happily in LA. I think the Lakers, whether or not they win another championship, whether or not, I don't think LeBron is going to chase a ring as a number 2 option or number 3 option in Golden State. Because if he's getting worse and he's on this way of his career instead of this way, which he's been in for like 5 years now, it feels like, why would I chase that? I've already got the scoring record. I don't think he's going to chase 40,000. I think he just want it to happen. Because if you're, it's like Tom Brady. Remember how Tom Brady, you don't want him to just tail off and be some loser? The same thing with LeBron James. You don't want LeBron James to just tail off like a Vince Carter in year 22. That was horrible. A guy who used to dunk like him a spot-up shooter and was terrible. If I'm the Lakers, I look at the AD thing more than I look at LeBron.
See, but I'm still in the belief that LeBron could probably fetch a better haul from the Warriors than I think AD could.
Isn't that wild?
It's wild. Well, it's an injury thing. It is exactly what it is. Right now, as it stands, healthy, AD is a better player. We know that. We don't always get that, but we know that.
Supposedly, yeah. If they're both on it in one night, yeah, I'll take AD. Sure.
I think this is not a situation where LeBron's chasing a ring, although obviously they'd be the huge heavy favorites in the NBA in the ring with those, a new big four, so to speak. I mean, Draymond's his guy. They're buddies. Draymond and LeBron are buddies. I think honestly, I think it's a great move if he went to the Warriors, and I think it's a great move for LA if they can get a package back of young guys like Wiggins and Kuminga and guys like that to actually have a pretty good foundation. I mean, think about it. You have AD. If they can bring back Austin Reeves, you have Rui, you have Wiggins, you have Dennis Schrader. Think about the young, kind of pretty decent team you would have. Now, with LeBron and Golden State, I don't think obviously they would be trying to win a ring, but I don't think it's a ring-chasing thing necessarily. I think LeBron's not a number 1, and in LA, he has to be treated like a number 1. He has to be, by the media, by the team, by, even his own teammates. He has to be treated like a number 1, even though, like you said, he's not a number 1 anymore in terms of production on the court. He's a great number 2, like upper echelon 2, Dame Lillard type number 1 on a bad team. Like, that's what he is. Like, if he's the number 1, that team's not going places most of the time. You put him on that roster with Steph, Clay, Draymond, and Kevin Looney, and you look at a team that, Steph's 35, LeBron's 38. I think Clay's like 34, 35, something like that.
And Clay looks like a bad 34 after his injury, which is sad.
Right. I mean, you're taking the pressure off your older guys. And, I mean, LeBron could almost be the quintessential come in middle of the quarter, be almost like the James Harden sixth man in Oklahoma City kind of thing.
Or Andrew Wiggins. Like a really good Andrew Wiggins. Can you imagine that?
Absolutely. The question is what does LeBron want?
That's the thing. Yep.
Everything. He's made his money. He's won his titles. He's got it. He's got the scoring. He's got the MVPs. Like, what does he want to do? He wants to play with Bronny. Okay. I mean, that's fine. I get that. But, here's the situation. Like, why not go get another ring if you could?
I have a question for you.
Okay.
There's talk that Damian Lillard wants to possibly leave Portland finally, right?
If he wants to leave, why did he sign these massive extensions? I don't get it.
I think there's more to the money there than people want to. People talk about the loyalty. That's BS to me. I think they offered him a boatload of money, and he's like screw it, whatever, sure. I think he's living lavishly.
I mean, Dame, LeBron, and AD in LA is incredible, but
minus AD, I'm gonna tell you why. I think Lakers right now, and this is gonna be a wild scenario, which I just thought of off the cusp. So shut me up if I'm wrong.
Okay, I'm listening.
Why would Rob Pelinka, the awesome, amazing businessman that he is, why would he want Kyrie right now? When you can literally give AD to Portland, get Damian Lillard. I don't know about that. I don't know. I would give them maybe Austin Reeves or Jared Vanderbilt, and get a draft pick that you can hopefully use one day to get Bronny. I think Pelinka would take that more than just having a bunch of young guys, which is really stupid. I agree, but like, if I'm LeBron, like, I'm LeBron James. I'm gonna sell out every single game still, even at 40 years old with my son. But if my son becomes that dude,
AD's not going for Dame straight up though.
That's why I was saying you'd have to add like Jared, because I think Dame requires more than AD, which is why
I think Dame
crap.
requires a couple of first-round picks too. Which
so with the Warriors though, which is crazy. What?
You're not going to be able to draft Bronny if you don't have any first-round picks.
That's why you would get like a late first round back and then like give them like some other pieces.
Well, there's talk now based on his freshman season, he might be a lottery pick.
But for the Warriors, and this is crazy too, for the Warriors, can you imagine if like Lakers, who are in desperate need of picks, can give LeBron to the Warriors, if God and LeBron willing want this to happen, they get back like a first or whatever, they get back a second rounder, they get back like in a Jonathan Kuminga, they draft Bronny, and LeBron still goes back to LA after 1 or 2 years anyways.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, like, the thing is LeBron going to Golden State isn't like this slight at LA. This is just LeBron saying, hey, look, this would be a fun experience. Like, LeBron at this point, like I said, like, I feel like LeBron should just kind of look in the landscape of the league and say, what would be a cool pairing for me to go play? Like, maybe I want to go to Phoenix, play with CP3 and KD. Maybe I want to go to Denver and play with Jokic and Murray. Maybe I want to go to Milwaukee and play with Giannis. Like
Dallas.
Maybe I want to go to Dallas and play with. I feel like LeBron at this point, like, he should be in video game mode. Like, maybe this is just the fan speaking, but like, I should be able to say, okay, LeBron, I want to go see you play with Jalen Brunson in New York. I want to see you play with Jimmy back in Miami. Like, I want to see something kind of cool and unique. Hey, I know I'll never go to Boston, but go to Boston, go play with Tatum. Like let's see something fun, Like, I don't know. What else do you have to prove? You don't have to prove. You keep telling me how great you are. You keep telling me you're the GOAT. You keep telling me you're still better than 95% of the league, quote unquote. So I don't know. Go have some fun with it. Go play with somebody. Like, go play with somebody unorthodox. I would love to see like a Giannis, LeBron James combo in Milwaukee. I think that'd be fun.
3 things. I'm gonna list 3 things to you. I want you to rank. I want you to tell me the best thing, and then after that, I want to move on, because obviously we got to move on.
Right.
I'm gonna give you let's say LeBron's options for like what he would want. We've got the option of playing with your son. You got the option of scoring 40,000 points. You got the option of winning a 5th or even a 6th ring. Of those 3 things, I think playing with your son means the most legacy-wise. I'm going to tell you why. He's already got a scoring title, so 40,000 to me wouldn't mean anything. Playing, what was the other thing I said with the, Lord.
Playing with Bronny.
Yeah, playing with Bronny was the other thing?
Winning championships.
Winning championships. People would not care if you won a championship as a 2 or a 3. So I would rather play with my son. But it's up to him, though. Like, I don't think he's going to chase rings as a 2. I don't think he's going to want 40,000 points. I think he wants to play with his son.
Well, he's a free agent after next season, correct?
Yeah.
So he has that right. This year is the year we're talking about right now. It's not
right.
Next. As an unrestricted free agent, whoever drafts him, they've got LeBron, allegedly, at this point. So he doesn't.
Orlando. Aaron's moving back to Orlando.
Not moving back to Orlando. The Vegas expansion team. No, I'm not worried about the Sun thing. And over the next 2 years, 40,000. He's got what, 38.5 right now. So over the next 2 years, 40,000 is coming. It's not a question. It's a question of health, obviously, but 40,000 is right there, in front of him. So that's not a problem. You're right. The GOAT debate is cemented in the sense of, if you're a Jordan guy, nothing's changing it. And if you're a LeBron guy, nothing is changing it. So nothing LeBron does tilts the scale in his favor with, Michael Jordan, GOAT, people. So, yeah, why not go be a number 2 or number 3 in Golden State, or, go to, like, I don't know. Like, the thing is Rob Pelinka is going to have to be the one to pull the trigger on this because LeBron can't just go. So Rob Pelinka has to sit there, look himself in the mirror and say, I'd be the guy that traded LeBron James. Now, again, this is a 38-year-old LeBron James who is not winning a title, in my opinion, on the Lakers. They're not winning a title. That, as they're currently constructed, they're not winning a title.
Oh, that's fair.
So if he can get a king's ransom back of and maybe some draft picks and not have to give up the core and re-sign the core, I think it's a no-brainer that he makes a deal like that.
Speaking of pulling the trigger.
Oh, jeez.
No, that was not a suicide joke. That was a John Morant joke. I want to make that 1,010% clear, okay?
Not a good joke.
But that could have been both ways there. Okay. John Morant is, quote, doing okay or doing fine, according to police, after he made some cryptic Instagram story post that was like, I love you, Mom, I love you, blah, blah, blah. Bye. Bye? What do you mean bye? Isn't goodbye social media? You idiots. And Aaron, I'm going to give you my quick take on this, okay? If anybody, okay, so I don't know if anybody believes John Morant is fine in any sense of the imagination. You can say, like, sure, like welfare-wise, that's great. Sure, he wants to live. That's good. That's really good. Memphis ignored the issue until it was too late. I've said this before. Memphis has ignored the issue. I want to know why for so long they knew about things that had happened and swept under the rug. They knew these things come to light. They give them like some 5-day retreat in Florida. Hey, great place to be, by the way, to work on yourself. Let me tell you, he's probably drinking out there too. And now this. Memphis has screwed this up so badly. And I wonder if Dylan Brooks is going to start. If I'm Dylan Brooks right now, let's say the rumors are true, he might have to play overseas for a little bit to work on his game. I don't think that's true. But if they are, if I'm Dylan Brooks, I'm going to making money off of Hello Podcasts this offseason, telling people what really happened in Memphis. That's what I'm doing.
You know,
would you do that to make a whole bunch of money? Sure, I would.
If you did, I think you're ruining your chance to go back to the NBA in that spot.
Heck yeah. China.
I don't know how we can blame Memphis in this spot. I mean, every team in the NBA probably has these situations where there's problem players, and they're sometimes superstars, and you sometimes have to scoop them under the rug. I mean, it's probably in every sport. You know, as good as you are, that's the more and more slack that you're going to get. That's not just the NBA, but you know, the thing is the police don't just see Instagram posts and go to people's houses. They don't care about it.
Someone credibility has to tell them, yeah.
Yeah, someone had to call and do a welfare check. Do we believe it's his parents? Because they seem to be the worst facilitators of distraction in his life. Like, yeah. They are cleat chasers in every sense of the word, but they're parents.
Cleat chasers. Ah!
I don't know what you call them in basketball, but like in baseball, it's cleat chasers. It's in hockey, it's puck bunnies. You know, anyways, you get my point. So it's a very strange situation that, I think honestly, and this may be an unpopular opinion. I don't know. It could. I think John Morant's fine. I think he's just mad because he can't do what he wants. I really do. I don't think John Morant is like messed up in the head. I mean, he came from a allegedly, I don't know him personally, but he came from a good upbringing. Like, he was raised right, allegedly. So for him, he's just going through that phase where like he wants to be a gangster, and you're not. Sorry, bro. And I think he's just mad because he doesn't get to do what he wants. And a lot of people don't understand these things. I see it all the time. How like, Colin Kaepernick with taking a knee at work. Like, you're at work, dude. Like, I can't go to my job and just start protesting at work. I'm gonna get fired too. If your job has clauses in their contract against your conduct and you break those clauses, you're gonna get in trouble. It's not freedom of speech when you're signing contracts. It's not, it's not freedom to do whatever you want. Like, I think Ja's just mad because he can't do whatever he wants, and now he's trying to he's trying to keep the attention on him. I'm sorry. I don't think this is a mental health thing. I don't.
Oh, of course. This is about as much BS as Ben Simmons. Get it, BS?
I do.
That's how I feel about that, though.
And I'm not trying to downplay mental health issues because they do really exist.
No, come on. You know what?
This is one.
Well, not enough people watch the show to even care about that. But I mean, you're right about that. It's like to be fair, like I'm not even talking about mental health. That's out the window. That's jumping out the window. Sorry. It blows my mind.
Good Lord, are you making a bunch of suicide jokes?
No.
Blows your mind. To me, this one I think he's still just trying to stay relevant. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't think I'm wrong on this one.
This runs me over. Listen, I think Memphis is an enabler right now. Like, it's eventually, if and I agree with your, huh?
In what way are they an enabler?
Because I know what you're saying about certain organizations have guys like this, they can sweep it under the rug. We may never hear about it. That being said, they knew this could have, when they put them to that retreat thing for 5 days, they knew that was a PR move. They knew that.
Sure.
You're enabling him to get worse.
I don't know about that.
Come on, man.
How do we know to really send them to a facility? I mean, there's not, whether they did or they didn't. The problem is that I think the NBA and all these sports have become so soft nowadays, and especially with tensions in America, if you start pushing back on your star athlete for things they do that aren't technically illegal, we have bigger societal issues in that spot. And that's where I think the problem is. You have to treat these guys with kid gloves. And it's not fair. It's your business investments that you almost have no control over until almost sometimes it's too late. Now, again, nothing he did was technically illegal. They've gone through all of the different investigations with the guns and everything. But I mean, I think Memphis has done what they need to do. I mean, with the situation with the Pacers, with the laser beam, they kicked that guy. Are they going to tell Ja you can't hang out with that guy? They probably did. They probably said, hey, look, for your own best interest, you probably shouldn't hang out with this guy. He's a bad influence on you. And Ja probably gave him the silent middle finger. I'm going to hang out with whoever the hell I want to hang out with. I'm going to say whatever I want to say. I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Well, eventually actions have consequences. I don't think Memphis is an enabler in this spot at all. I disagree with you wholeheartedly in that spot.
This is now a debate show. Darn you. Okay. That's enough for that because we got to take a quick break and talk some hockey pucks. Aaron will update us next, but first, a word about safety.
If you're driving, please remember to use your car's Bluetooth speaker while listening to the AM Drive. Sports talk is not worth your safety or the safety of others. Thank you.
All right, welcome back here to this AM Drive Friday fantasy Draft Friday edition of the
Not
AM.
Yet.
Presented by Fanatics and MikeandAaronDrive.com. Go head over to that website you see below me right there, MikeandAaronDrive.com. Click the Fanatics logo, which you see right there. And it's a shop where you can buy everything from all your favorite teams, players, and leagues. Merchandise, memorabilia, and apparel, etc., etc. Add to cart times a million. Support this channel by buying Fanatics merchandise through MikeandAaronDrive.com and clicking that Fanatics logo. We thank you so much for that.
Orchestra music to my ears. Thank you. Okay, Aaron, it's your turn to be depressed. Oh, good Lord, that's another terrible joke. It's your turn to feel not the greatest about your team. Go ahead.
See, that's the difference, though. I mean, of course, yes, I would have loved to have them sweep, but the situation is they get 2 out of the next 3 at home to close out the series. I think they get it in Game 5. You know, I'm actually quite depressed. The most is so inside the Vegas arena, every so often in the game, the Ric Flair signature woo goes off. You know, and then the crowd goes nuts and woo, woo, woo. You know, they all do the woo. And I don't like it, but the fans seem to like it. However, last night on the broadcast, the Ric Flair was seen in a Stars jersey doing the woo. So I'm hoping that maybe that'll kill the woo inside T-Mobile Arena. But Stars won last night. They're now down 3-1 in the series. Of course, a couple days ago, the Panthers swept the Hurricanes to the tune of 4-0. They are now awaiting their opponent, which will most likely be the Golden Knights. I'm not depressed yet. If we lose Game 5, I'm a little worried. It's at home. That's the difference between the Knights and the Heat. The Knights have home ice advantage still, so I still feel comfortable in that spot. I mean, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. Hockey is an incredible, and Jake Ottinger is the reason that if the Stars were to come back in this series, he's the reason they're going to do it. He's absolutely incredible. It's so hard to get goals by him, whether it's the Golden Knights, the Kraken, whoever it is. It's so hard to get goals by this guy. But we'll see what happens. I think Saturday it's wrapped up. I think we got a Stanley Cup Finals matchup set, and we got Knights and Panthers.
Thoughts on that Stars player shoving that guy's head to the ground?
So Jamie Benn, yeah. So I was not shocked at the game misconduct that he got, obviously, in the game. I was shocked about a 2-game suspension. I didn't think it warranted a 2-game suspension. I'm not even sure it warranted a 1-game suspension.
My God, this dude is insane.
Given the fact that he was kicked out 2 minutes into the Game 3. I would have understood 1 game. I don't think 2. I think 2 games was heavy, but I mean, as a Knights fan, of course, I'll take it. You know, having the captain out for another game is fine with me. But I thought it was actually a heavy fine or a heavy suspension. So I don't agree with it, but I'll take it.
Wow. This is the same guy, folks, who on Monday's show wasn't the happiest when it comes to kicking a guy's ankle. But it's okay to shove him down to the ground with your stick from the back of the head. That makes sense.
Completely different situation. Here's the situation.
Oh, okay.
Here's the situation. Stone went in for a cheap shot. Stone went in for a cheap shot and missed. Tried to hit a bigger guy. The bigger guy knocked him over. So, you know, you got to take a little bit on the chin, no pun intended. And I thought he tried to cross-check him into like the arm area, and it rode up and hit him in the chin. And I'm telling you, I don't think it was that bad of a move. And look, I'm trying to be an objective person here. Like, I hate hockey fans who just blindly say crap about their own team or like say crap about other teams, but when their team does something, they're quiet as a church mouse. No, Mark cheap hit and missed, and Jamie Benn made him pay for it. I don't agree with the hit, but I don't think it was a 2-game suspension. I really don't.
And Matthew Tkachuk had the greatest postseason series ever, correct?
That is, I mean, I just off the top of my head, I think yes. I don't know of anything else that could have been better. I mean, I would have to go through the archives, but 3 game-winning goals in 4 games is just absolutely incredible. 2 in overtime and 1 actually to avoid overtime, which is pretty crazy the way he did that.
It was a series clincher with 4 seconds left.
Yeah. I mean, and we were talking about how
it's like Dame Lillard.
Florida got fleeced in that Matthew Tkachuk trade. It's starting to obviously look the other way around.
Oh. I'm so ready for our fantasy football. I'm kidding. I'm so ready for our fantasy draft when you're right back to the AM Drive.
All right, welcome back to the Fantasy Draft Friday AM Drive. We are presented by Agri-Dime. It's very simple. It's grilling season. It's almost June here, boys and girls. It's Memorial Day coming up this Monday, which is the quintessential grilling day of the year. Make sure that you are stocked up on your meats by going to Agri-Dime. And you can actually go to mikeandaarondrive.com and click the Agri-Dime logo. And then when you shop at checkout, code AM Drive for 10% off your order at checkout. Tell them we sent you. The folks at Agri-Dime are awesome. They produce great meat. And you can get that for less than they charge with code AM Drive at checkout.
Hashtag meatheads. Okay. Are you
All right.
sick, sir?
I just have little snuffles. Fantasy Draft Friday. Tried to think of something really related to what's going on in sports right now. I was thinking about best sports comebacks. But I only want to do that one if we get one. If we get one.
Shut up!
Hey, it could be Dallas. You never know. If we get one, I will do best sports comebacks, which we'll know by next Fantasy Draft Friday. So for me, I went ahead and chose best sports cities. I've got a list of 10 here that I think are the best. I'm going to get 5 of them, so I'm super excited about this. And I had the number 1 pick last time.
Are we doing only North America?
Yeah, only the U.S.
Whoa! Well, U.S.
Yeah, only the U.S.
Wow, you just took away my 5th pick.
You can have North America, I guess. That's fine. I'm not picking any Canadian or Mexican teams, so
Mexican, get out of here. Okay.
Guessing
and this is
Toronto
like,
pick.
How do you know? Okay, so like that'll be my honorable mention. Okay, it won't be. So I have another question for you, real quick. Do you what is your criteria? Mine was combined. Mine has nothing to do with team history. Mine has everything to do with area and like fans' passion and all that stuff.
Yeah, so my criteria is a combination of success.
Oh, good.
Obviously, atmosphere, like environment, like you have great fans, you have teams who are consistently good usually, and you also have a great environment that, like, okay, when the game's over or before the game, it's also a great place to just be and live.
Okay.
So
I think I get first pick this week.
You do.
First pick in the Fantasy Draft Fridays. I bet you it's not your first pick or even a pick for you. I'm going to go with the best fans in the world. This is so bad. New York City.
It was on my list.
So NYC for me, because of the fact that I have been in New York City like 5 or 6 times, and I love that place. And also, their fans, you may not like them, but if you're up there, I'm sure it's a good time.
I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, I'm going to take their counterpart as my number 1 pick for obvious reasons, and I'm going to go with the city of Boston as my number 1 pick.
Well, since you took Boston, I'm going to go with the team that's the city that's kind of close to there. I'm going to do Buffalo. And people will say, well, Buffalo, atmosphere may not be the greatest, but I'm telling you, those fans are some passionate sums of sums,
Only 2.
I'm going to do.
No, I mean, they have the Bandits too. They might win a cup here.
It might be biased,
They're going to win a cup before the Sabres do, that's for sure.
Oh, gross.
All right, for my second pick, I'm going to take a very large city, a very sports-heavy city, a lot of sports teams in that city. Also, a great beach environment. There's movie stars everywhere.
I should have done this.
I'm going to take Los Angeles as my number.
I've lost. How do I lose these things after 2 picks every single time? Okay. I have to compare it to the people at this point. You know how great I am at that. Okay. I'm going to steal one from you here. Oh, yeah. UFC, Desert Dogs.
That was my number 3 pick.
NBA team soon emoji. Give me what happens here stays here unless we win a championship. Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
Not only that, I mean, you also have the sports betting capital of the world too. So that was good, number 2 or number 3 pick. So you snuck one. You snuck back in the race here.
No.
I think you did. For me, number 3 is actually a city I've never been to. but I do know that the fans are passionate. It's a city I'm interested in. There is a dark shadow over the city that makes me a little nervous to go there. But I think my number 3 sports city is going to be Chicago.
Boo! That was one of my picks. No. Okay. You've left me with no choice, you bastard. This might be. I think you've got a slight edge in the first 3 picks. These next 2 are gonna get you, and you're gonna be hanging from a ceiling. Oh God. That was not intentional, by the way.
You're doing great today.
I'm getting canceled by the 5 people that watch this. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go with Seattle. Best fans in the world, dude.
I have Seattle on the list, but I didn't anticipate picking it. So, all yours.
What? You have no. Okay, Seattle Storm, Seattle Seahawks, Seattle Kraken. Those fans. My fan bases are passionate. Yours is a bunch of, we have big cities. Ooh, shut up.
Well, I think that, you got to look at the success of LA versus the success of Seattle. The success of Chicago
has nothing to do with my sports cities.
And also, I think with the exception of LA in certain spots, Chicago and Boston have some pretty passionate fans as well. And speaking of my number 4 pick, I am going to go with, as far as best sports cities, I'm going to go with the Bay Area, which will just be San Francisco here very soon. But I'm going to go with the Bay Area. I'm going to go, we're just going to call it San Francisco because Oakland days will be gone soon. So we're going to call it San Francisco with the Giants. I'm going to rope the 49ers in there, even though they don't technically play in San Francisco. And we also have the Golden State Warriors. So San Francisco for me is number 4.
That's a horrible pick politically, by the way.
What do you mean horrible pick politically?
Horrible.
Every city I've picked is horrible politically.
No, but I mean, like San Francisco, they're big things. Like every single news outlet is showing just how horrible and homeless they are right now in San Francisco. You might have single-handedly lost the draft with that one right there. In 2021, I've got you. Well, you've got me on that one. But 2023, that may have been the losing the draft.
I can the homeless. I was in San Francisco last year and I didn't see too many, so there's ways to avoid them. The sports are on the outside of the city, so I can stay away from the middle stuff.
Then you lost anyways.
I have the pier, I have the Golden Gate Bridge, I have absolutely incredible sights. The only thing I don't have is affordable living.
Ooh.
It may be a bad pick, but I think sports-wise, I think we're okay. Oracle Park is the best Major League ballpark, best Major League Baseball ballpark by far.
Wow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pencil in this stupid pick. I want to do Toronto, but I have to pay to the people at this point. We're going to Atlanta. Atlanta. How is that? Come on. Should I do Atlanta or I'll do Atlanta.
Speaking of suicide jokes, Atlanta really likes to blow their leads.
They leave their fans hanging,
Yeah, they do. Oof. All right, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams still left on my list here that
so bad.
That you didn't take, which there's 2 of them to take. So I'm gonna pick mine, and then after you pick yours, I have some honorable mentions.
That was it. I have 5.
Oh, that's right. You went first. All right, so honorable mentions, Tampa, obviously.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't pick that, you weirdo.
I think it's an incredible city. I liked it, but obviously I moved away. But another low-key best sports city, maybe not weather-wise, but Minneapolis, Minnesota. I mean, you want to talk about passionate fans. There's some passionate fans. And unfortunately, they haven't had the success that I needed to really make them they have 3 titles from their sports teams in 60 years.
I wish you would have picked them. I really do.
The other one, it's a beautiful city. I wouldn't mind living there someday. It's a beautiful city. Denver was another one I went.
What?
What do you mean what? Have you ever been west of the Mississippi? Maybe you should
I
try it.
refuse.
Denver is an incredible city. All 4 sports teams are located like within a mile of each other. It's pretty awesome.
Which sports teams? Mammoth, Broncos, Avalanche.
Nuggets and Rockies.
That's 5, sir.
The Mammoth wouldn't be considered a Big 4 sport. Sorry.
Bro! Oh, you are so much. Oh,
Maybe with your help, one day they could become a Big 5.
Watch your mouth.
Unfortunately, the Big 4. I mean, technically, the Big 5 are all right there because I think the Mammoth, don't they play in the Pepsi Center or the Ball Center or whatever it is now?
Ball, whatever. Yeah. What is your 5th pick?
So my 5th pick is one of my favorite cities. It's on the east side. It's definitely in the Eastern time zone. They have 3 teams with a modicum of success for all. One team has the most Super Bowls, tied for the most Super Bowls. One team is an absolutely incredible hockey team, and the other team is just, well, they were really good in the 90s, their baseball team. And that is the city of Pittsburgh, one of my favorite cities in America. My number 5 pick.
If you moved to Pittsburgh, I would laugh in your face and spit on you. That's just horrible.
I don't think I would live there, but I think I do like Pittsburgh.
That's insane. What a boring city.
I disagree.
No, in terms of sports fans, that did not make my list. It should have. I agree with that.
I disagree. I think that it's a really awesome city. The actual city. I don't know much outside the downtown area where all 3 stadiums are located. PNC Ballpark is another beautiful park too.
Good thing I already scared the Steelers fans away with my Kenny Pickett video.
So recap your 5 cities. I want to see if I did win or not.
NYC, Buffalo, Las Vegas, Seattle, Atlanta, Toronto.
Toronto. Well, this one might be close. Maybe if you put the graphics out this week, we can actually get a vote.
Shut up!
Boston, LA. If I would have gotten Vegas instead of San Francisco, you'd have gotten White. But you stole Vegas.
Cisco's going to kill you.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, Lord.
I don't think so. I think San Francisco is a great city, as long as I don't have to hear their politics. Boston, LA, Chicago, San Francisco, and Pittsburgh. I think I still win this week, so we'll find out.
I'm tired of giving you money, man.
Well, I never get tired of that. So going to do it for us on the AM Drive. Hope you guys enjoy your sports weekend. Until Monday, make sure you're visiting MikeandAaronDrive.com. Visit our shop, socials, sponsors, and, of course, subscribe to the YouTube page as well. New wrinkle, we might be broadcasting on Twitter as well, so stay tuned for that potentially. But until then, enjoy your sports weekend. Hopefully the Golden Knights can shut it down on Saturday, and maybe we'll get Game 7 in the basketball series as well. So for Michael Carvelis, I'm Aaron Crouch saying enjoy your own sports city if you can, and we'll see you guys on the other side of the weekend.
Let's go Heat. Drive safe.